Welcome to the A.T.TIPSCAST, exploring and investigating the implementation of assistive technology in public schools. I'm your host, Chris Bouguet. This is episode 103, recorded on October 13th, 2012. If you could go back in time and give a younger version of yourself one piece of advice about your professional life, what would it be? This is an interesting question to ponder. The question doesn't ask what you do differently necessarily, but rather, what would you do to make your life easier? If I could go back in time and give a younger version of myself one piece of advice with regard to working in the field of special education and assistive technology, it would be this. Create a list or database of every recommendation you make and keep it organized. How many recommendations have I written over the years in assistive technology reports and consultations? And then, what happens? I'll send that report or consultation off to a teacher, saving a copy for myself, of course. Then, sometime in the future, when I want to make a similar recommendation for a different student, I can't find my first recommendation. Oh, I know I wrote it up. I know it's in my file somewhere, but I just can't seem to remember the name of the student, or which folder I put it in, or which category I've categorized it in. I swear I've forgotten more recommendations and rewritten more recommendations than I can count. Oh, I have them all somewhere, buried in reports or in emails, but not in a way that's easily or quickly accessible. Well, unfortunately, I don't have a DeLorean with a flux capacitor in it.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
I can't go back in time to tell myself to keep better track of my recommendations, but I can look forward to the future. I can plan ahead, and that's exactly what I'm going to do from this day onward as I share with you AT-TIP 291, ATEval2Go. Smarty Ears is the company founded and managed by the Geek SLP herself, Barbara Fernandez. Geek SLP is the name of her blog and video podcast featuring different tools to help anyone working with people with communication disorders. In fact, let's sneak geekslp.com in as AT-TIP number 292. Smarty Ears produces apps useful for anyone working with people with communication disorders. A long while ago, Barbara asked me if I would be interested in working with her to develop an app to help people conduct assistive technology evaluations and consultations. Of course, I was eager to do so. As Smarty Ears grew, finding the time to manage and produce all of the apps grew to become more than Barbara could do alone. So, Sean Sweeney, author of SpeechTechie.com, a blog focused on helping professionals use technology to help people with communication disorders, was brought on board to help produce more apps. In fact, let's call SpeechTechie.com AT-TIP number 293. Sean contacted me about bringing the app back to life, and off to work we went. And now, a few months later, I'm proud to announce that the app ATEval2Go is now available to purchase in the Apple App Store. The app is available for any iPad running iOS 4.3 or later. The app was designed in such a way that it will guide you through any type of evaluation or consultation process. The app allows you to keep track of all of your students or clients, the goals they are working on, current accommodations they have, and, my favorite feature, any ongoing recommendations you might make, not just for this student or client, but for all of your students or clients. Once you create a new record for a student, the app guides you through the process of completing an evaluation or consultation by making observations about the student, the environment, and any recommendations you might make. Within each section, the user can enter text, take pictures, create a video, or record audio, making the data entry truly a multimodal experience. Practitioners don't have to jump out of the app to take a picture or video or record audio. It's right there built into the app. The app also comes with built-in banks of recommendations, which are organized into categories such as communication, composition, vision, reading, and more. These banks were created using an amalgamation of commonly made recommendations from various sources. If you're a long-time listener to the AT-TIPScast, or you've read the Practical and Fun Guide to Assistive Technology in Public Schools, you know that I'm a firm believer that assistive technology can be any item. In fact, in the USA, these are the first two words in the definition of an assistive technology device. Therefore, these banks couldn't be and aren't meant to be all-inclusive, everything you could ever use ever type of banks. The list of what could be an assistive technology device is really infinite. Although robust and filled with more common recommendations, the banks are really meant to be guides just to get you started. Here's the best part. They are 100% completely customizable. So, if you'd like to change the wording, go ahead. If you'd like to delete some from the bank you know you'll never use, go ahead. If you'd like to add a bunch more of your favorites to each category, go ahead. Once you've made your observations and selected your recommendations, you can export that information as a report in either HTML or PDF formats. Not to mention open it in a variety of other apps you may have loaded already on your iPad. So imagine walking into a classroom, observing a student, and being able to create detailed multimodal observations. Immediately pull up recommendations worded just the way you like, which can immediately be exported as a report. That's exactly what the app ATEval2Go does for you. Although the primary design is meant to help people with evaluations and consultations, the app could be used at IEP meetings during the assistive technology consideration process as well. The IEP team could bring up the app to discuss the targeted goals and to peruse the customizable banks to look at possible tools to address those goals. Finally, I'd add that I believe the app to be useful when considering technology interventions for any student. Any professionals who make environmental observations that lead to recommendations for interventions might find this app to be a useful tool. ATEval2Go is available right now in the App Store. I hope you find it to be a useful tool that helps you produce rich, detailed, and thoughtful recommendations and reports to help provide students and clients with the tools they need to accomplish their goals, whatever those might be. And I hope it saves you some of that oh so precious commodity, time. I'd like to thank Barbara Fernandez and Sean Sweeney for trusting me with the development of this ATEval2Go app and for the opportunity to bring this app to life. I was given a handful of codes to give away, and I thought one of those codes could go to a listener of the A.T.TIPSCAST. The codes need to be used very soon, so this giveaway will be a quick one. This episode was released on October 13th, 2012. You have between then and October 20th, 2012 at midnight Eastern Time to share this website, bit.ly/ATEval2Go. That's bit.ly/ATEval2Go, all lowercase and with the numeral 2. And then you got to let me know about it. Include me, A.T.TIPSCAST, on any social media sites when you share it. If you'd rather email people about it, you can copy me on that too. My email is ATTIPSCAST@gmail.com. Remember, I need to know about it so I can add you to the list. Then, first thing I'll do on the morning of October 21st, 2012 is figure out a random winner using random.org. Sound cool? All right then, happy sharing everyone! Until next time, may all your interventions be inclusive, may all your strategies be supportive, and may all your future AT evaluations and consultations be done using ATEval2Go from your iPad.